Okay, so I'm here with Tyree Broadway, who does a lot of different things. You're a fine artist, you are a potter, you're a saxophonist, and thank you so much for talking with me here today.
Thank you for having the time to talk with me.
So we're standing in this gallery-like setting, right? And looking at your artwork, it's just amazing to look at like this, but then you bring out the black light, right?
That's like the secret.
Tell me about that.
I've been really supported by my parents and my grandma and myself in like investing in art supplies. So it's actually like happenstance that it is UV reactive. It's just from having so many different mediums. I think one night I was laying on the bed and I thought I saw like a light on the wall, so I turned on the light, I didn't see anything, I turned it back off, and I figured out it was coming from the painting. Apparently some of the media I was using was UV reactive or glowed in the dark. So once I figured that out, I thought it was pretty cool. So now consciously, when I see different UV reactive stuff, I try to use it in my process of painting.
Tell me, what's the art community like in Kalamazoo?
It's about the network. Like I have a very supportive network of like Yolanda Lavender, James Palmer, it's one of my mentors. So I have some great artists that support me in like great ways to like showcase my talent. Prior to meeting like those individuals, I felt it was like kind of hard to like break into the art scene. It's like you had to know someone, and even if like you have the most amazing piece without a way to be able to show it, you're just kind of like stuck there. Just like my room was just crowded with all this art. So now I have a chance to get out the house and walk around my bedroom.
And so do we, right?
Yes.
We get to enjoy the art as well. So I'm here with Yolanda Lavender, who is a community leader. You're a national recording artist and the CEO of Soul Artistry. And this space that we're in, and it's called The Space, right?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I mean, as soon as I walked in, I told you, the music was going, I just felt the vibe. And looking at the art, it was someplace that you could kind of hang out and just enjoy yourself. So how did you curate this whole place?
So I have tried to be intentional about not really having a lot of expectations of what the space was going to be. I just knew that my responsibility was just to make it available for artists, and specifically Black and brown artists and those who have been historically excluded from being able to be in space, have places where they can perform, create, practice, do whatever they need to do creatively. So the community of artists here in Kalamazoo, from those groups that I just mentioned, have really developed what this is and are continuing to develop what it's going to be.
And what do you hear from like maybe little kids that come through, see an artist that looks like them doing what they love?
It's so important. So another thing about the space is that I want little kids, grown-ups, whoever, to be able to like touch things, not feel like this is a museum, because it's not. Like they can interact and be in the space in whatever way that they need to show up. So the oohs and ahs and who is that, and I want to meet that person, how was this created, all of that really inspires me to keep being intentional about this space not being like a typical art gallery or museum space, but like for the people to exist and be in.
Did you grow up with artists in your family? Did your parents encourage you when you were growing up?
I was a fidgety kid. So my mom and dad gave me like pencil or paper, and I would draw whatever kids do. You always get the feedback of like, it was awesome what I was doing. So I just kept getting better and better. It seemed to make everybody smile. And I guess that's my goal now, to kind of bring people into like my creative bubble and peace, and like even here tonight, seeing all like the smiles and people enjoying it. It's really rewarding for me, and I would say it's like really reciprocal, especially when you create a portrait for somebody, and then like years later they're like, hey, my dog died, and I'm so glad you made that painting for me, or like, hey, it's our anniversary again and we love the portrait you did for me. So that kind of gets me, like on my down days, like to pick me up, that keep creating and doing the thing that I guess keeps me motivated.
When you give somebody a painting, or sell somebody a painting, you have a permanent connection with them, right? You're giving them part of yourself.
I just had a friend today have to fly back to Bangladesh, and I gave him 3 paintings for his family, and he's not even there yet. They're already on the phone saying, thank you so much, we saw your work on Facebook. So now I'm excited that I got work overseas.
So this is Tyree's work.
Yes.
And how did you meet Tyree, and why did you want to bring him into your space?
So I previously served as the executive director of the Black Arts and Cultural Center here in Kalamazoo. And so I met Tyree through my work there and service at BACC, provided, opportunities for him to come and showcase there. And so of course, once we opened the space, it's like, yeah, who are all the artists that I've connected with over the years, and just want to, extend another opportunity for them.
And I read when you were a little kid that your parents had paintings in the house, and you'd feel them.
Yeah,
right?
My mom had like some abstracts, and they were just like all bumpy and like super textured, and I would literally just walk up the stairs like running my hand across the artwork like every day. So probably those paintings are gone, but I think I've had shows where people they look both ways and they like touch the painting because of like the screen, the texture. So I try when I create to make it like super durable so that the little kid running around with all the energy can touch it and have the paint not be ruined.
You participated in Art Prize, and you've won awards as well, right? What were some of the works that you won? Well,
man, it was a long list.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. It was a long list of just how Art Prize was featured last year. Some was like inspirational prize. Like I hit like every category. I think what was more rewarding was the actual feedback, and it was the actual surprise of like being a finalist when I was thinking my venue is off the beaten path. I don't see any foot traffic. Like really, honestly, truly tonight, I feel like there's more people here that I'm actually able to interact with than I did during Art Prize.
Wow.
But I just got a call that I was a finalist. I was like, how? Wow. So it just like blew my mind and like made my day, and it subsequently has led to me being able to showcase my art more. So it just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Since you super serve marginalized people, how did that passion come about? I know you said the way that you were raised, but a lot of people kind of can look back at that, but don't really do anything about it.
Absolutely. So my own personal experiences have informed the way that I approach that. So there's been times where I have been excluded from opportunities. I actually started soul artistry because in Kalamazoo, when I was first starting to sing professionally, there were no venues that would, welcome or allow me to be able to perform outside of Fire Historical and Cultural Arts Collaborative, which was the first place that I sang like for an audience outside of church. So I have just continued to provide that kind of opportunity that I wish that I had when I was first starting for artists, Black and brown artists who are starting out now.
What would you say is your proudest moment as an artist?
Actually, it's not really a moment. It's more so when kids like give me compliments because they're like more genuine.
Yes.
I have a friend, his son, he's like, I gave them a painting, and the kid was standing like that. I was like, what's the matter? He was just doing like this. I said, what's the matter? He's like, Tyree, you're just amazing. He was like 4 years old. I was like, oh, I'm gonna cry.
Oh my God.
So like things like that, sometimes the adults will like put their nose up when they want to know, like find out what school you went to, and I tell them I'm self-taught. But like the kids, they're like the more genuine, feedback for me. And then it's like, and as far as like buyers, if buyers are like me, if I want something, I get it. So I don't really,
right.
doesn't really bother me what the opinion is.
Yes.
It's like I'm bringing other people into my bubble and things that I think are beautiful. Either they're going to participate or not.
Hey, listen, thank you so much for talking with me here today. I just love, you go from the wildlife to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to an abstract to a painting that has, some texture with beading on it. I can't wait to see what's next. Thank you so much for talking with me here today.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Support for Kalamazoo Lively Arts is provided by the Irving S. Gilmore Foundation, helping to build and enrich the cultural life of Greater Kalamazoo.